So I'm doing a series of videos for survivors of abuse. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I'm getting asked the same kind of questions quite frequently, which is really good questions that I thought, why don't I do a series of videos? Because I think for a lot of us survivors, it's a good idea to have some kind of roadmap out there of the process of dealing with and processing the abuse we've been through, and letting people know what does it look like to get help, and what will that experience of getting help, professional help, look like. And so I'm doing a series of videos to try and help people. And first off, I just want to say, because of the nature of this topic, go slow. If you feel that this series of videos is too much for you to watch, please don't watch them. I'm also doing them as a series of short videos so that you can just look at them in small chunks. But what I suggest is, first off, don't watch them late at night, because late at night isn't a good time to process these kind of things. But secondly, when you do watch them, please afterwards do something to take care of yourself, something that helps you to relax, something that helps you think about something beautiful, something happy, something that will help relax you and soothe you. Okay, so let's kick it off today. Why did I start these series of videos? Well, the reason is because the number one question that keeps coming up is people saying, I was abused in the past, and I'm wondering if I should get professional help, but I'm wondering if I get therapy, will it mean that then my whole world falls apart and I'm not able to cope? And that is a really, really good question. It's also a complex question to answer. So we're gonna take our time, but we're also going to look at what actually is abuse, because a lot of people find themselves wondering, is what happened to me actually abuse? It feels like something bad happened, but I don't really know the exact name for it. We're also going to look at how abuse then impacts us in our lives. And then we're going to look at some of the things you need to have in place if you are going to get therapy. And then we're going to look at when you get therapy, what could some of the outcomes of that be? And there might be more videos following on, depending on what kind of questions people ask me and stuff. But that's what we're going to start with. And I've also got a PDF to go along with this. So there's a PDF available for this if anyone would prefer to read this material. Okay, so let's just start off briefly with my story. Some of you know bits of my story from a previous video I did called Revisiting My Traumatic Past. Basically, I went to a boarding school, and at the boarding school, I experienced abuse. I experienced physical abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. But I didn't have categories for those things. I didn't know that they were actually abuse. And I was kind of told, just it's all character building, just ignore it, just get on with your life type thing. So I went through life really feeling like something was wrong, but not knowing what it was. And then I got to a point in my life where my coping mechanisms for dealing with life weren't really working that well anymore. And I ended up having a lot of problems. I didn't know what they were, but I was like, something's not right. And I started researching, and I thought, oh, I've got a thing called boarding school syndrome. And I talked to a therapist about that. But from talking to the therapist, it became apparent that I actually had PTSD from abuse in boarding school. So I got counseling for the PTSD. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Really was very life-changing. It's quite amazing. And so I went through that experience, which was just absolutely wonderful for me. And have also found in my life that I'm often walking alongside other survivors of abuse and trying to help people with their abuse in London and on a big council estate. And in my work, I've worked with a lot of trauma survivors, And in my training, I had training for counseling. And so that's part of my background. In my day job, I'm coming alongside people, and often coming alongside people, helping them with their trauma. That's a bit about my background. And from the basis of what I picked up in my training, but also largely from what I actually went through myself and through the intensive counseling that I went through, I want to share this kind of roadmap for survivors who are thinking about, should they get professional help? All right, take care.